The story of Asha Degree is one that continues to haunt both her family and the community of Shelby, North Carolina. Imagine waking up one morning to find your 9-year-old daughter missing without a trace. This is the chilling reality that the Degree family has been living since February 14, 2000. Asha Degree was just a fourth grader when she mysteriously vanished from her home in the early hours of a stormy night. The last known sighting of Asha was by motorists who saw her walking alone along Highway 18 a few miles from her house. Despite extensive searches and numerous investigations over the past 2 decades, Asha's disappearance remains a perplexing enigma. The case of Asha Degree is particularly disturbing because it defies the typical patterns seen in missing child cases. There was no sign of forced entry, and Asha's parents have consistently been cooperative with authorities. The discovery of her backpack, neatly packed and found 18 months later, only deepened the mystery. This case highlights not only the pain and anguish of a family, but also the limitations and challenges faced by law enforcement in solving such cases. Understanding Asha's disappearance is crucial because it brings attention to the vulnerabilities children face and the importance of community vigilance. As we delve into this case, we aim to shed light on the facts, explore the various leads, and keep Asha's memory alive in the hope that one day the truth will come to light. The night Asha Degree disappeared was marked by a severe storm that swept through Shelby, North Carolina. On February 13, 2000, the Degree family spent a typical Sunday together, attending church and visiting relatives. That evening, Asha and her brother went to bed at around 8 p.m. in the room they shared. Everything seemed normal until the early hours of the next morning. Around 2:30 a.m. on February 14, Asha's father, Harold Degree, checked on the children before heading to bed himself. Both were sound asleep at the time. However, at approximately 3:45 a.m., Asha was seen by her mother, Aquila Degree, who heard noises and assumed Asha was shifting in bed. Little did they know this was the last time they would see their daughter. Asha's journey into the unknown began shortly after her mother's check. At around 4 a.m., Asha packed her book bag with clothes and personal items and quietly left the house. It was a cold, rainy night, and Asha, dressed in her nightgown and sneakers, walked into the storm. By 6:30 a.m., when her parents woke up to get ready for work and school, Asha was gone. As the Degree family frantically searched the house and contacted neighbors, two motorists reported seeing a young girl matching Asha's description walking along Highway 18 between 3:30 and 4 a.m. One driver turned around to check on her, but Asha ran into the woods, vanishing from sight. This was the last confirmed sighting of Asha Degree. The weather that night played a significant role in complicating the search efforts. Heavy rain and strong winds reduced visibility and made it difficult for search teams to cover ground effectively. Despite these challenges, law enforcement and volunteers launched an extensive search operation. Helicopters, K-9 units, and hundreds of volunteers scoured the area, hoping to find any trace of Asha. Initial search efforts focused on the surrounding woods and fields along Highway 18. Volunteers combed through dense underbrush and muddy terrain, but there was no sign of Asha. The search expanded to include nearby water bodies, abandoned buildings, and remote areas, but each lead turned into a dead end. The Degree family, devastated by the disappearance of their daughter, made public pleas for information and assistance, drawing national attention to the case. Despite the relentless efforts of search teams and the local community, the initial days of searching yielded no significant clues. Investigators interviewed friends, family members, and neighbors, trying to piece together any possible motive or reason for Asha's sudden departure. There were no signs of forced entry or struggle at the Degree home, leading authorities to believe that Asha had left on her own accord. One of the most baffling aspects of the case was Asha's decision to leave home voluntarily. Friends and family described Asha as a shy, obedient girl who was afraid of the dark and storms. Her disappearance was completely out of character, and this contradiction puzzled both investigators and those who knew her well. As days turned into weeks, the hope of finding Asha began to dwindle, but her family and the community refused to give up. Candlelight vigils were held, and flyers with Asha's picture were distributed far and wide. The Degree family remained steadfast in their belief that Asha was still alive and somewhere out there. The search for Asha Degree continued, but the mystery of that stormy night in February 2000 remains unsolved to this day. In the days following Asha Degree's disappearance, investigators and volunteers combed the area for any signs of the missing girl. One of the first significant clues emerged nearly 18 months later in August 2001, when Asha's backpack was discovered buried along the highway in Burke County, about 26 miles north of her home in Shelby. The backpack was found wrapped in a plastic bag and contained items that belonged to Asha, including her pencil case and clothes. This discovery renewed hope and raised more questions about her fate. The backpack's condition suggested that it had been buried intentionally, leading investigators to believe that someone else was involved in Asha's disappearance. Forensic tests were conducted on the backpack and its contents, but no definitive leads were uncovered from the analysis. The location where the backpack was found also didn't yield any further clues, adding to the mystery. Witness reports played a crucial role in piecing together Asha's movements on the night she disappeared. In addition to the two motorists who saw her walking along Highway 18, a truck driver later came forward, stating that he had seen a young girl fitting Asha's description at the same location. These sightings were consistent in time and location, providing a narrow window of when Asha was last seen. Despite these reports, no one could explain why Asha, a young girl afraid of the dark, would leave her home voluntarily in the middle of a stormy night. Friends and family members insisted that Asha had no reason to run away and described her as a happy, well-adjusted child. This contradiction has led to various theories about her disappearance. The investigation into Asha's disappearance has seen numerous developments over the years. In 2016, the FBI announced that they were re-examining the case and released images of two items that they believed could be connected to Asha: a Dr. Seuss book and a New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt. These items were not known to be in Asha's possession at the time of her disappearance, leading authorities to believe they might hold significant clues. Further investigation revealed that the Dr. Seuss book, McElligot's Pool, was borrowed from Asha's school library, but how it ended up away from her home remains unclear. The New Kids on the Block t-shirt also presented a mystery, as it was not a typical item that Asha would have worn or owned. These clues suggest that Asha might have come into contact with someone outside her usual circle, possibly indicating foul play. The case has also garnered significant media attention, leading to numerous tips and sightings being reported. While most of these leads have not panned out, each tip is meticulously investigated by law enforcement. The FBI, local police, and state investigators have all remained involved in the case, continuously reviewing evidence and following up on new information. Despite the passage of time, the Degree family remains hopeful. They continue to hold onto the belief that Asha is still alive and somewhere out there. They maintain a website and a tip line dedicated to finding Asha and regularly hold events to keep her memory alive in the public eye. The enduring mystery of Asha Degree's disappearance and the clues left behind continue to baffle investigators. Each piece of evidence, from the buried backpack to the puzzling items discovered later, adds layers to a case that has remained unsolved for over 2 decades. As the investigation continues, the hope is that one day a breakthrough will bring answers to what really happened to Asha Degree. The disappearance of Asha Degree left the Degree family in a state of profound shock and despair. Asha's parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, along with her older brother O'Brien, were devastated by her sudden and inexplicable disappearance. From the very beginning, the family's response was one of disbelief and heartbreak as they struggled to comprehend how their beloved daughter could vanish without a trace. In the initial days following Asha's disappearance, the Degree family worked tirelessly alongside law enforcement and volunteers in the search efforts. Harold and Aquila appeared at numerous press conferences pleading for the safe return of their daughter. Their raw emotions were evident in their public appeals as they begged anyone with information to come forward. The family's heartbreak and desperation touched the hearts of many, drawing national attention to the case. Aquila Degree, in particular, became the face of the family's public efforts. She spoke passionately about Asha, describing her as a shy, bright, and loving child. In interviews, Aquila often expressed her disbelief that Asha would leave home voluntarily, emphasizing that her daughter was afraid of the dark and storms. These public appeals highlighted the family's unwavering belief that Asha had not run away and that something more sinister had occurred. The Degree family's relentless pursuit of answers extended beyond media appearances. They organized community searches, distributed flyers, and even consulted psychics in their quest to find the Shah. The community of Shelby rallied around the Degrees, providing support and assistance in any way possible. Candlelight vigils were held, and the local church played a significant role in offering solace and hope to the grieving family. As time passed, the Degree family continued to keep Asha's memory alive. They established the Asha Degree Foundation, aimed at raising awareness about missing children and providing support to other families in similar situations. The foundation organized events and fundraisers, ensuring that Asha's case remained in the public eye. The Degrees also maintained a website dedicated to finding Asha, which included a tip line for any new information about her whereabouts. The media played a crucial role in keeping Asha's case in the spotlight. National news outlets picked up the story, and Asha's disappearance was featured on several true crime television shows and documentaries. This widespread coverage brought in numerous tips and leads, though many ultimately led to dead ends. The Degree family's collaboration with the media ensured that Asha's story reached a broad audience, increasing the chances of uncovering new information. Despite the challenges and setbacks, the Degree family's resolve never wavered. They remained hopeful and determined to find their daughter, holding on to the belief that Asha was still alive. This unwavering hope was evident in their continued public appeals and efforts to engage with law enforcement and the community. The Degree family's strength and perseverance became a symbol of resilience in the face of unimaginable tragedy. Over the years, Asha's case has seen periodic resurgences in media attention, often coinciding with anniversaries of her disappearance or new developments in the investigation. Each time, the Degree family seized the opportunity to renew public interest and appeal for information. They have always been open and cooperative with investigators, providing any information that might help solve the case. The family's perspective on Asha's disappearance is one of enduring hope and unrelenting determination. They have faced their darkest fears with courage and continue to fight for answers, refusing to let Asha's memory fade. The Degree family's journey is a testament to the power of love and the unbreakable bond between parents and their child. Their story serves as a reminder of the importance of community support and the relentless pursuit of justice for all missing children. The disappearance of Asha Degree has given rise to numerous theories and speculations over the years. Given the perplexing nature of the case, both experts and amateur sleuths have weighed in with their opinions, each trying to piece together the puzzle of what might have happened to Asha on that stormy night in February 2000. One of the most widely discussed theories is that Asha was lured away from her home by someone she knew or trusted. This theory is supported by the fact that Asha left her house voluntarily, packing a bag with her personal items. Those who subscribe to this idea believe that Asha might have been groomed by an unknown individual who convinced her to leave under the guise of a secret meeting or adventure. This theory is bolstered by the lack of evidence pointing to a forced entry or abduction from her home. Another popular theory is that Asha may have been the victim of human trafficking. Advocates of this theory point to the organized nature of her disappearance, suggesting that she was taken by individuals who knew how to avoid detection and leave little trace. This theory gained traction particularly after her backpack was found buried many miles away from her home, indicating that whoever took Asha was intent on hiding evidence and possibly moving her far from Shelby. A third theory posits that Asha might have run away due to personal reasons such as bullying or stress and subsequently met with foul play. However, this theory is often dismissed by those who knew Asha well, as they describe her as a happy, well adjusted child with no apparent reasons to run away. Experts also argue that a 9-year-old girl would unlikely be capable of planning and executing such a departure without leaving more clues behind. Expert opinions on the case have varied. Dr. Michael Baden, a renowned forensic pathologist, has commented on the perplexing nature of the evidence, noting that the intentional burial of the backpack suggests a planned and deliberate act by the perpetrator. He emphasizes the need to revisit all physical evidence with new forensic technologies, as advancements in DNA analysis could potentially uncover new leads. Criminal profiler Pat Brown has also weighed in, suggesting that the circumstances of Asha's disappearance indicate the involvement of someone within the local community. Brown argues that the familiarity with the area and the Degree family's routine points to a perpetrator who had been observing Asha for some time. This theory is consistent with the idea that Asha might have been lured away by someone she trusted. Analysis of the evidence has been a critical component in the investigation. The discovery of Asha's backpack 18 months after her disappearance remains one of the most significant pieces of evidence. Forensic tests on the backpack and its contents have not yielded any conclusive results, but the fact that it was buried intentionally suggests that the person responsible had a clear motive to obscure their tracks. The two items highlighted by the FBI in 2016, the Dr. Seuss book and the New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt, also add to the mystery. These items were not known to be in Asha's possession, suggesting that they may have been introduced by someone else. The Degree family's insistence that Asha was not the type of child to run away voluntarily has led many to believe that she was indeed taken by force or coercion. This belief is supported by the lack of any significant leads that point to her willingly leaving her life behind. As the case remains unsolved, each theory continues to be explored by both investigators and the public. The hope is that new evidence or a breakthrough in the investigation will eventually bring clarity to what happened to Asha Degree, providing answers that have eluded her family and the community for so long. The investigation into Asha Degree's disappearance remains active, with law enforcement continuing to pursue leads and re-examine evidence. Over the years, the case has seen renewed interest and efforts, particularly with the involvement of the FBI and advancements in forensic technology. Currently, the FBI, along with the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, are the primary agencies handling the case. These agencies have periodically reviewed the evidence, conducted new interviews, and followed up on tips from the public. Despite these efforts, no definitive answers have emerged. In recent years, law enforcement has focused on revisiting old evidence with modern forensic techniques. Items such as Asha's backpack and its contents have been re-examined in the hopes of uncovering new DNA evidence or other forensic clues that might have been missed during the initial investigation. Additionally, the FBI has released age-progressed images of Asha, attempting to provide the public with an updated visual representation of what she might look like today. The community of Shelby has remained deeply involved in the search for Asha. Over the years, numerous community events, including marches, vigils, and fundraisers, have been organized to keep Asha's memory alive and to support the ongoing investigation. The Degree family has been at the forefront of these efforts, working tirelessly to ensure that their daughter's case does not fade from public consciousness. One significant aspect of community involvement has been the establishment of the Asha Degree Foundation. This organization, founded by the Degree family, focuses on raising awareness about missing children and providing support to families in similar situations. The foundation also serves as a hub for information and tips related to Asha's case, maintaining a dedicated tip line and website. Public appeals have also played a critical role in keeping the case in the spotlight. The Degree family, along with law enforcement, has made numerous public pleas for information, appearing on national television shows and in media interviews. These appeals have generated thousands of tips over the years, though most have unfortunately led to dead ends. Despite the passage of time, the community and law enforcement remain committed to solving Asha's case. The enduring hope is that someone somewhere holds the key piece of information that could unravel the mystery of her disappearance. The Degree family's unwavering determination continues to inspire those involved in the investigation, providing a beacon of hope that one day Asha will be found. The disappearance of Asha Degree is a haunting mystery that has left a lasting impact on her family, the community of Shelby, and all those who have followed her case. From the night she vanished to the ongoing investigation, each piece of evidence and every theory adds to the complexity of this unsolved case. Asha's family has shown remarkable resilience and strength, continually working to keep her memory alive and seeking answers. As we conclude this exploration of Asha Degree's disappearance, we encourage you to remain vigilant and aware of the cases of missing children in your own communities. If you have any information about Asha's case, no matter how small, please come forward and share it with law enforcement. Your support can make a difference. Please subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories like this video if you found it informative, and share it with others to raise awareness about Asha Degree's case. Together, we can help bring closure to her family and ensure that Asha's story is never forgotten.